Hello students, welcome back. Today we'll start with our second chapter. Yes, you read that right. That's noun. So students, after reading the name, आपको लग रहा होगा अरे ये तो पता है. It's not like that students. It is not only things which you know. There are several tidbits and bits about this chapter noun. There are several minute things which are untouched, and we will touch each and everything, each and every platform of this chapter noun in this video. So students, stay tuned. See, so first thing which we must know that from where does this word emerge? ये शब्द आया कहाँ से? This word noun has came from a Latin word nomen. This word noun has come from a Latin word nomen. Nomen से बना noun. And what is the literal meaning of noun? What is the literal meaning? The literal meaning of noun is to name. To name का हिंदी मतलब नाम देना. So basically noun is nothing but it's a word which names. ये जो शब्द है वो क्या करता है? ये नाम देता है. From the very childhood you must be learning the definition of noun, that noun is a name of person, place and things. It is not so. It's not only the name of person, place or things. ठीक है? That's the example. Actually, the definition says noun is a word, the actual definition says noun is a word which names. And it is not like that it only names person, place or things. It is not so. Noun can name everything which you can see or which you can't see, which you can touch or which you can't touch. Every single thing. ठीक है? किसी भी चीज को आप नाम दे दो and that's a noun. That's a noun, yes. Things which are present today in this world, things which are not present in this world today, everything, we name everything, and that's called noun. So noun is a word which names everything. So the correct definition, the proper definition, the complete definition of the noun says that it's a word, noun is a word which जो क्या करता है, which names everything, which names everything. Yes, student. So please note down the definition first, the Latin word and the literal meaning. Then we'll move on to the classification of noun. Alright students, so now we will see the classification of this noun. In how many types the noun has been divided. What are the different types of this noun? Alright students, so the first classification of the noun has been done in two types. The first one is countable. The second one is uncountable. So students, what is this countable? You must be knowing that nouns which can be counted. जिन nouns को हम गिन सकते हैं. And what is uncountable? Noun which cannot be counted. जिन संज्ञाओं को हम गिन नहीं सकते हैं. So the first classification of noun has been done in two types. And further, this countable noun has been divided into three types. And this uncountable noun has been divided into two types. So let us begin one by one. The first classification of countable noun which can be counted. So this classification also makes a sense that these nouns can be counted. And this classification also makes a sense that these nouns, that is material and abstract noun, cannot be counted. Alright students. So this detailed classification gives us many ideas in one single shot. So students, let us begin by the first noun, that is proper noun. Alright students, so what is this proper noun? See, the detailed difference, the detailed definition of these nouns we will see later on. But for now, this is only the classification students. So first of all, and one thing more, that this is not the only classification. Noun has been further classified into several other types also. But for basic English grammar, but for now, for you, this classification is more than enough. This will work in most of the examinations. This classification is more than enough for now. But that was my duty to tell you that this is not the only classification of noun. Noun has been further divided into several other types also. But for now, please note down this classification, and then one by one we will see the nouns. Alright students, please note down. Alright students, so now we will see the difference, the classification, the definition of all these nouns one by one. So the first noun here is, see actually one thing you must note here, that remembering, memorizing, the things is not a good option. You must always try to understand the things. Never ever memorize the things. If you try to understand the things, then your mind will keep that thing forever. But if you memorize anything, your mind won't keep those things forever. One day you will forget that thing for sure. So try to understand the thing so that you can frame up the definition on your own also. So that you don't need to revise the things. Alright students, so now let us see. I have simplified the definition in the easiest possible language. See, and the definition I have made in such a manner that you can also differentiate between all these nouns. So students, see the first noun. The first noun is proper noun. See, now try to frame the definition on your own. Like I said in the very beginning of the chapter, that the meaning of noun is nothing but to name. And these are the types of noun. So it is quite obvious that these nouns also would be naming. And one by one we will see what are they naming. See, proper noun is nothing but a noun. And we know that the basic principle, the basic work of a noun is to name. And so goes with this proper noun also. Proper noun is nothing but a noun which names. It names. Next question arises, what it is naming? किसे नाम दे रहा है ये? It is naming nothing but proper. What is proper? Proper का मतलब खास. It names specific. It names proper. ये खास चीजों को नाम देता है. For example, it names proper person, proper place, proper things. For example, proper खास person में क्या हो गया? राम, मोहन, सीता, मीता, गीता. Proper place, गया, पटना, दरभंगा, बेगूसराय. Proper thing, pilot pen, Reynolds pen, Luxa pen. These are khas things. These are proper things. Now come to the second one, the common noun. This is also a noun, and as we all know from the definition of noun, that the basic principle of noun is to name, and so goes with this common noun also. Common noun, it also names. Second question arises, what does it name? The answer lies in the name itself. It names common. Common चीजों को नाम देता है. Common person, common place, common thing. अब ऊपर वाले से आप मिला के देख लो. It was naming राम, मोहन, सोहन, गीता, मीता, सीता. ठीक है. अब राम, मोहन, सोहन इन सब के बदले एक नाम क्या होगा? That would be boy. So that's a common name for every Ram, Mohan, Tom, Dick and Harry. Now come to place. Gaya, Patna, Begusaraय, Muzaffarpur है. What would be the common noun for all these names? इन सब के बदले एक नाम क्या होगा? वो common नाम क्या होगा? That would be city, town. So city and town is what? That's a common noun. Now come to thing. Pilot pen, Luxon pen, Reynolds pen. इन सब के बदले एक नाम क्या होगा? That would be pen. So pen is a common noun. So students, now please come to the next type. That's collective noun. See, collective noun, as usual, that's also a noun first. And as per the definition of noun, it is a noun, so it would also name. तो ये भी नाम देता है. But the second question arises, what does it name? किसे नाम देता है? It names group, collective. Collective word has come from collection. Our easiest language, easiest word for collection is group. तो ये किसे नाम देता है? ये ग्रुप को नाम देता है. It names group. किसके ग्रुप को? Person, place और thing के ग्रुप को. तो ऊपर वाले के अनुसार हम देखते जाएंगे. जैसे बॉय का कलेक्टिव नाउन क्या होगा? दैट वुड बी ग्रुप ऑफ बॉयज. सिटी, सिटी के कलेक्शंस को क्या कहेंगे? बहुत सारे शहरों को क्या कहेंगे? लाइन ऑफ सिटीज. एंड द थर्ड एग्जांपल पेन. बहुत सारे पेन का क्या कहेंगे? बंडल ऑफ पेन. रबर बैंड में लगा के रखते हैं. दैट्स अ बंडल ऑफ पेन. So accordingly, I have written the example so that you can make out easily the differences between all these three types of noun, students. So students, please note down the definition, then we will move on to the uncountable noun. Here. Alright students, now let us begin with the uncountable nouns one by one. And in uncountable noun, as we have earlier seen, that there are two types. The first one is material and the second one is abstract noun. So let us see what is first the material noun. Material noun. Now see students, same thing goes with this also. This is also a noun. And as we have earlier learnt that noun names, noun naam deta hai. And same thing goes with material noun also. Material noun also names. तो one thing is common in each and every type of noun, that it names. ये क्या करता है? नाम देता है. So material noun also names. It also names. अब ये किसे नाम देता है? It names such thing which can be measured or weighed. तो ये ऐसी चीजों को नाम देता है जिसे नापा या तौला जा सके. So students, अब किसे नापा तौला जा सकता है? Milk, sugar, salt, दूध, दही, शक्कर, चीनी, ईटा, बालू, cement. All these things are what? All these things are material noun because these things can be measured and weighed. So please note down the definition, students. So students, now moving on to the last type of noun and the last type of uncountable, of course, also. That's abstract noun. ठीक है? कईयों को abstract noun से समझ ही नहीं आ रहा क्या है भैया. So before understanding what is abstract noun, we must know what is abstract because we know the meaning of noun. So we must also know the meaning of abstract. कि भैया ये abstract का मतलब क्या है? What's the meaning of abstract? See, I've written here. These are those things which cannot be seen, which cannot be touched, but only felt. ये ऐसी चीजें हैं जिसे देखा छुआ नहीं जा सकता है. सिर्फ क्या किया जा सकता है? महसूस किया जा सकता है. So that's abstract. ये होता है abstract का मतलब. Now we will try to understand what is abstract noun. Abstract noun क्या है? This is also a noun. So of course it will also name. Obvious सी बात है, it will also name. So what it does? It names. It names. ये नाम देता है. किसे नाम देता है? It names abstract things. ये abstract चीजों को नाम देता है. For example, all type of emotions, all types of feelings, happiness, sadness. What are they? These are abstract noun. You cannot touch happiness. You cannot touch sadness, but you only can feel it. So these are the examples of abstract noun, students. And what are abstract noun? Things which cannot be seen or touched, but only felt. So that's the last type of noun. Please note down, students. Alright, students. So now we have learned what are nouns, what are the different types of noun, how nouns have been classified, and we have in detail learned the definitions and as well as the examples of types of noun. Now we will see the rules of noun, how they work, how they are used, and what are the rules revolving around the noun. So for that, we'll start with rules of noun and rule number one. For rule number one, we have two questions here on the board. The first question, see what you have to do is, you have to find out or you have to tell me, is the sentences written on the board, is that right or wrong? So students, first question, pen's cap broke off. Kalam ka dhakkan toot ke gir gaya. So tell me, is this sentence right? No, it's not right. Second question. Nature's love for human is divine. So is the sentence correct? Obviously, this sentence is correct. Now, what's wrong in first question? See, as per rule number one, see, what is this? This is apostrophe S. This is apostrophe S. And the Hindi meaning of apostrophe S is ka. It is used to show apostrophe S. Why do we use that? Apostrophe S is used to show possession. Apostrophe S का इस्तेमाल हम करते हैं अधिकार दिखाने के लिए. To show possession. कलम का ढक्कन. So this pen is showing its possession. That this cap belongs to me. So students, rule number one says, now you will say what is wrong in showing possessiveness. The rule says that we cannot use, हम इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते, we cannot use apostrophe S with non-living things. निर्जीव चीजों के साथ हम apostrophe S का इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते हैं. We cannot use with them. So student, that's why this sentence is wrong. Now your question would be, then how will non-living things show possessiveness? फिर निर्जीव चीज कैसे अधिकार दिखाएगा, जताएगा? For that we only can use of. O with single F. Of. The cap of pen broke off. If we had written this way, then this sentence would have been right. The correct sentence should be, the cap of pen broke off. That's the correct statement, students. So students, rule number one says that we cannot use apostrophe S with non-living things. Now, you must be thinking, what about the second question? Nature is what? That's not living thing. Then how can I use apostrophe S with nature? That's not living thing. And right now I said that we cannot use apostrophe S with non-living things. Then how can I use apostrophe s with nature? See, rule number 1 comes with a note. There's a note also. And that note talks about an exception. That note says that if non-living things shows the character of human side, अगर निर्जीव चीज इंसानों की तरह बिहेव करे, अगर निर्जीव चीज इंसानों की क्वालिटी शो करे, then in that cases we can use apostrophe s with non-living things. Now see question number 2 here. Nature's love, प्रकृति का प्यार, and this love is the quality, is the character of a human. इंसान का ये क्वालिटी है, और ये दिखा कौन रहा है? निर्जीव चीज. This non-living thing is showing the character of a human. And the note of rule number 1 says that if non-living thing shows the character of a human, then in those cases we may use or we can use apostrophe s with the non-living things. Else we cannot use apostrophe s with non-living things. We cannot use. There's only one exception, and this is that. So students, first please note down the question, then I'll tell you the rule. So students, I have mentioned the table, or say the rule, on which the previous questions I have told you. See, if the noun is living being, then in that case to show possession, we may use apostrophe s also or of also. If the noun is non-living, nirjeev, then in that case to show possession, we only can use of. And the third case, that's the note, you may say. If the noun is non-living being, ऐसा निर्जीव जो इंसानों की तरह फितरत दिखाए, then in that case we may use apostrophe s also, or we may use of also. So please note down students, moving on to the next rule. So students, now moving on to the next rule, rule number 2. See, the questions for rule number 2 here are, first question says, princess's daughter died. रानी की बेटी मर गई. महेश का बेटा मर गया. So these are two different questions. So please tell me, is the first one correct or not? Is the first sentence right or not? See, first question is wrong, as well as second question is also wrong. Now, you must be thinking, what's wrong in this? See, rule number 2 says that if your noun, princess is what? Rani kya hai? That's a noun. If your noun ends with s, अगर आपके noun के अंत में क्या है? S है. Then in that case, to show possession, we only use apostrophe sign, not apostrophe s. हम सिर्फ apostrophe का sign देते हैं, ना कि apostrophe s लिखते हैं. Only this apostrophe का sign. Now this sentence is right. अब ये जाके सही हो जाता है. Now come to question number 2. Mahesh. Read out the word Mahesh. When you read out Mahesh, Ramesh, Suresh, there are there is an ending of sh sound. At the end of this noun, there is a sh sound. If your noun end with sh sound, then in that case also to show possession, we only use apostrophe sign, students, not apostrophe s. Why so? Why these rules have been made? So that we can easily pronounce these nouns when we are showing possession. Because if we add apostrophe s, then it would be very tough for us to pronounce this princesses, maheshesses. It would be like this. The pronunciation of these nouns would have been very difficult. So this rule number 2 has came from the grammar side, that if your noun ends with s letter, or if your noun ends with s sound, then in these both cases, to show possession, we will only use apostrophe sign, student, not apostrophe s. Never ever. We won't be using apostrophe s. Only use apostrophe sign, students. Please note the question, then the rule. So students, I have mentioned the rule on the board. The rule says, nouns ending with s या double s letter or s sound, then to show possession, we only use apostrophe sign, students. So please note down the rule as well. Moving on to the next rule, number 3, but we will see this rule in syntax, in noun 2, students. Thank you.